Oakley, say hi to YouTube. So, it is Monday morning here in the great state of Alaska. And we're going to give you a quick update. If you watched the video a couple months back, you noticed that we recently picked up a 68 Chevelle SS 396. Unfortunately, the car has a 350. It's a great engine. Small block Chevy 350 4-bolt main, but it is not the engine that's supposed to be in the car. It's a big block car, original 4-speed car. Obviously no longer numbers matching, but the car deserves to have some power. We decided to go with a LS swap. Just to give you some quick updates, you'll notice that my truck is not in the garage. Sarah's Audi is. It's all shined up. It's actually so cold outside that the tire shine, even after being in the garage for a couple hours, is still frozen. She took my truck because, take a quick look outside. In North Pole, Alaska today, it is negative 39 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not joking. You can actually tell that the ice is coming through the door, and it's pretty crazy here. So if you watch the most recent video, you noticed that the $300 RM125 is now running. Pretty neat stuff. We got a full bottom end rebuild on that bike, and just for a couple $100 on top of a $300 initial purchase, this bike is back in business. Anyways, the purpose of this video is to talk about the Chevelle. Here's some LS parts, intake, ECU, whole bunch of top end parts, if you will. Recently picked up a hydrosonic cleaner for the lawnmower builds. Comment down below if you watch the channel for that stuff. We do a lot of lawnmower flipping. And sitting on the back of this, thank you, Oakley, is some extra parts. But right here, is one of the most exciting things I've finally received in the mail. The Terminator X kit. Woo! So I'm stupid, and it comes with a whole lot of really cool marked things. Really excited to be able to put this in and make this car be a monster. In the last video, if you'll notice, I didn't have a GoPro, and now I do. We haven't made any videos recently. I got PRK eye surgery, so I don't need glasses or contacts anymore. But that meant spending close to a week in a dark room with sunglasses on. I'm not exaggerating. So I finally got back. And this car is winterized, but I don't have to work today. I go back to work in a couple days. I'm coming off a convalescence leave. So I told Sarah to take the truck because it seems to do a lot better in the cold. This car starts hard, even after being plugged in. It seems to not cooperate very well. So we're gonna go over to the garage where the car is stored. A friend of mine, I rent a garage space from her for a small monthly fee, and it frees up the garage here in the winter, which is huge. Just a couple more quick things. Still got the Arctic Cat M8 2013 sled. Absolutely rips. We'll be posting up some new videos. I took the GoPro out when we went riding 2 weeks ago, and it was about 22 below, and the GoPro battery only lasted for about 2.5 minutes, so pretty frustrating. We're going to be going riding this weekend out in Summit. I'll see if I can include a clip from my buddy's video that he recently took. He went this past weekend. I couldn't see, so decided it's probably smart not to go. But you'll be seeing some clips of that soon. This sled only has, I think it's under 1,100 miles. So for 2013, that sled runs fantastic. The only issue I've ever had with it was one of the steering knuckles came off, and was quite an experience going down the road and seeing one ski going this way, another ski going the other way. But we made it back home and fixed it, tightened the bolt up, and moved on with our lives. But yeah, great sled. If you saw the most recent video, that was before the GoPro was working for us, and finally actually got shipped here. So apologize for the bad quality video, but go check it out. It's Puma. We picked this sled up for $400. And if you know anything about snowmobiles, look at this. 400 bucks. So, if you check the video out, it's titled Resurrecting a Snowmobile in Under an Hour. So, there's actually a gentleman coming to pick this sled up this weekend. I bought it with the intention of making a little bit of money off of it. So, Chase was nice enough to let me borrow his trailer. We threw the sled on there. Had some disgusting carbs full of moisture and water and old gas. Actually single carb, but got the sled running in under an hour, and we're ripping it. It's been super reliable. Sarah rode it this past weekend, just bombing around. So it's pretty cool. So we'll make some money off of it. Maybe I'll make a video on how much it sells for and how flipping old sleds can really make you some money. But the cash from this will be going into the engine for the LS build. Bought this off my buddy recently, about, I think it was a week ago actually. I had a 2-wheel drive Yamaha Big Bear 400 that we recently sold. Kind of fixed that up and made some money off of it. And he texted me and said, hey man, I'm moving. He actually was PCSing to a different duty location from Alaska, and said to me, I told him a long time ago, give me first dibs, just kind of half kidding, but he said, quad's yours for $3 grand. And it's a 2012 Yamaha Big Bear 400 4-wheel drive with a plow setup. So it actually came with the plow. He's not very mechanically inclined. The drain bolt was completely stripped. You can actually have it over here. There it is. Look at that. So we tried JB welding the socket to it. Didn't work. But bolt extractor set, if you don't have one, pick it up. Super helpful. Looks just like this. This started out as a 19mm, and I was able to hammer the 17mm onto it and then crank it loose and put a new drain bolt in the bottom. And kind of concerning because you never really know when the last time the oil was changed, but it looked to be good quality. The thing runs fantastic. Electric start. Can't beat that. Says it has about 1,700 miles, but for 3,000 bucks, you can't beat it. So I actually made a video. I'll post it up here soon. But we changed the front rear differential gear oil, changed the engine oil, new oil filter, which is a pain in the ass on these machines. You got to get 3 Allen bolts out in there. Oakley says, yeah, it sucked. And what else did we do? Brand new air filter and a couple other things. Hey, leave that alone. What are you eating? No eating the dirt. Dork. So, awesome machine. If you know anything about the ATV market or even used car market, it's absolutely booming recently. So this is a good investment. It's fun. It's 4-wheel drive. No issues. For $3 grand, I knew I could resell it and make some more money if I wanted to make a flip. But I think I saw a good opportunity, kind of a no-lose, knock on Puma situation. I really like the stock look of stuff. So this thing's still dirty, but sprayed some SCI, I think is the company. It's the same stuff I use on all the bikes. It's called New Bike in a Can. It's kind of a coating. But we were able to, found new decals online. This is missing them. Put these on, and then I got Yamaha stickers coming in the mail. So this thing will be basically 100% back to stock. But without further ado, we're gonna actually hop in Sarah's car. Go on, bud. Go for a ride. And we're gonna head to Donna's garage and go check out the Chevelle. Show you some new parts. All right, we're taking off. Hope you can see that. It says negative 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state of Alaska. All right, we are pulling up. This place is so awesome. So Donna, I actually met her. I fixed her snowblower. I put an ad up last winter saying fix or repair or remove. broken snow blowers and lawnmowers. And she actually lives not too far from me in a gated house. It's just absolutely beautiful property. So she actually lets me keep my snowmobile here in the winter, excuse me, in the summer. And I said to her, is there any chance you'd be interested in letting me rent this sucker out for my car? She actually brought it up to me first because she has this enormous garage, as you can see. And all she keeps in it is what I'm going to show you in a second. And she hates paying for heat, so it's good for us. So let's see, I'll show you guys what it looks like in a second. All right, we'll grab this bag of happiness. Oh, shiny old Fancy Nancy, looking good. Let's see what we got here. This garage is absolutely beautiful. I guess she stores that for a friend of hers. That's her truck, her four-wheeler, and Sid. That's the snowblower I fixed. But in case you didn't know, the reason why I call this car Sid is the license plate it used to have on it was something CYD, but that said his name must be Sid. And it became more and more prevalent because he looks like Sid from Ice Age with kind of a messed up face and eyes. All right, pop this terminal back on, hope nothing catches on fire. And I'm gonna grab the keys. So this car has absolutely horrible Krager wheels. That I don't think even belong on this car. I think they're off a Firebird, but the 14s are in the rear and the 15s are up front because the disc brakes didn't clear on the front. Needless to say, there's new wheels that are on the way for this car. They should be here hopefully around New Year's, and I am super excited. So let's fire this thing up. Well, that was weird. The starter decided to stick. I guess that's what I get for not firing this car up enough. But super reliable. 4-bolt main. Probably time for some plug wires. This car runs great. Needs some exhaust. It's just straight out the head. As you can see, time for some new wheels and tires, big time. So let this thing get up to operating temp, and then I'll show you all the goodies we picked up for it. So it's kind of ironic that the starter just stuck. The reason this car is in my possession right now, I think, is because of that. This car is awesome. It runs great. The trans has been recently rebuilt. But the previous owner of this car had it sitting for a very long time. So I think he got it, had a blown engine. I think somebody tore the trans out of it. He put a small block and a turbo 350 back in it just to get it back on the road. And for some reason, they're difficult to shim. I'm sure people who are way more intelligent than I have no issue with this, but luckily this car sat for so long because I think it actually screamed whenever you tried to start it. The starter would grind, so it actually ended up breaking off numerous teeth on the flywheel, excuse me, the flex plate of this car. And it would break starter nose cones. So when I first got it, I got it home and the car wouldn't even start after I drove it home. I only drove it a block and a half. It was actually stuck in the woods at a shop down the road when I picked this car up. Comment down below what you think we paid for it. I don't remember if I said it in the last video, but it's a super cool car, runs and drives. But the reason I should have videotaped this, but the reason the car was off the road when I first got it was the flex plate was all chewed up. Dropped the trans myself, got the trans inspected by my neighbor who actually owns a transmission shop. He looked it over and said this thing looks like it was freshly rebuilt, which is super exciting for me. So it would grind no matter how much you shim the starter. The flex plate needed to be replaced. So dropped the trans and was able to replace it, and put the starter back in, and it didn't cooperate. So I ended up dropping the starter out numerous times and shimming it. And after figuring out that it was actually the wrong way, putting shims in was the wrong move, I actually filed down by hand to the exact correct spec, put the starter in, and it's been super good ever since. So it must have been sticking from not being driven for quite some time, but pretty cool. So let's talk about the LS swap. There's a whole bunch of exhaust parts, motor mount parts. What do we have here? Can't remember what this is from. Yep, this is more motor mount parts, some tranny fluid. This thing had a crack in the camera died while we were at Donna's house. Gonna finish this video off in the about negative 40-degree weather outside while Oakley takes a piss, and I'm standing out here in shorts. Long story short, I ordered all, in theory, of the parts I'm gonna need to complete the LS swap, engine-wise. Got a high-pressure fuel pump that'll drop right into the tank. Got the Holley Terminator X kit. We got the throttle body off the car original intake. We'll figure out what we want to do for an intake, but basically I really wanted to get the car running and driving properly this past season, and we achieved that. And super reliable car, and waiting for the engine build to be complete. And as you all know, unfortunately, parts are extremely hard to come by, so everything has been ordered. Trying to run AFR heads, but they've been on back order for months at this point. I want to have the engine complete so we can put boost to it at some point in the future. So the goal is to have about somewhere between 500 and 600 wheel horsepower on an NA build, and build it where we have a proper what's the term? Build it where we could put boost to it and not have any issues down the road. So everything's kind of overbuilt, if you will, at this point, but I'm excited to see where the car goes. So obviously I'm sure some of you are staring at the body and wondering what the hell I'm doing. Why don't I have fenders? Why don't I start really working? I want to do this car right. It's solid the way it is. It drives great. So we got wheels and tires coming here very shortly. I did order front and rear fenders, front and rear front inner fenders and rear wheelhouses, both inner and outer, because those are rotted and you can see right into the trunk. But unfortunately, that stuff's on back order as well. So being in Alaska, all that stuff that we ordered, they actually sold the stuff out from under me. So I had to get everything shipped through a shipping company. Oh, come on, boy. And at the last minute, they decided they wanted to sell the stuff from under me. So we are moving to Missouri in about 6 months, getting a permanent change of station there. So it'll be a whole lot easier to get body components once we make our way back to the lower 48. So stay tuned for that, and we got more stuff coming your way. Pretty excited.